thought you meant for like, something for cats. I was like, oh.
Alright, we're going to get started. I'm just going to introduce Bellarmine.
And then I
Yeah, okay.
like a little box of feeling.
Alright, hey guys, I'm Krisha.
I'm Ashton. I'm Jessica.
And we are currently second years at Bellarmine University. But today we just want to talk to you guys about our community partner project titled Service Leadership and Service Learning Clinic Operations, Fulfilling Professional Core Values and Building Life Skills. And just real quick, no. I'm technologically challenged, so. But we just kind of want to give you a little bit of background about our service learning clinic. And currently we have 4 locations. 4 locations. We have 3 different crews. And your first year is paired with a second year. And this mentor-mentee pair is assigned to one of 4 locations for either crews 1, 2, or 3 every fall and spring semester. And our clinic runs on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 to noon. And we have like a reflection component after you're done with your rotation. You have a reflection component at the very end that's due. All right. So a little bit of background before getting into our. We wanted to instill a student advisory board specific to Bellarmine's physical therapy program and our service learning clinic. And so these were just a few of the topics that we wanted to research before getting into the meaty part of it. And that was the importance of service learning, the benefits of student development as a professional, and the importance of student-led clinics, as well as past physical therapy program board models, which we had the help, or we modeled ours after with the help of White University and Nazareth College. And then after researching those topics, we just really wanted to get back to the basics of, why we wanted to instill a student advisory board in the first place. And that was mainly because of student desire. Several students had approached us with the desire for managerial experience, and as well as gaining business skills and things like that. Secondly, we wanted to increase communication between our faculty and students in the SLC, since it is curricular based. There tends to be a lot of miscommunication sometimes between that, so we wanted to make that transition a lot more smoother to increase patient care effectiveness. And also, Bellarmine was presented an awesome opportunity this year. We have the first endowed service learning clinic in the nation, and so we wanted to really offer even greater opportunity for growth in students and faculty, which would then carry over to our patient care.
So with any project, you're going to have some challenges that you know from the get-go that you're going to have, and you know you have things working for you. Like Tricia mentioned, this is the first endowed clinic in the nation, and it's really exciting because this, in the background picture, that's just the picture of our waiting room, and a few other slides forward, you'll see the picture of our rest of our clinic. But when you get something new, you know that feeling, you want to keep it nice and clean, and you really want it to function well. So we took that and used it to our advantage. We wanted to give the faculty and students a great opportunity because of this new thing, like capture their excitement and move forward. But we also know that because our service learning clinics are curriculum based, the model that we created is going to have to fit around that. And we knew that we were going to have to change the decisions that we created to fit around this model, and we were going to have to change a lot. And as every PT student knows, time is precious. And we, as students, are required to be in our service learning clinics, and we're asking them to volunteer to be on this board. We're asking them to buy into the importance of having these managerial experiences that they may not get in their clinicals but is going to help them when they go out and try to look for a new job or ask for a promotion. So again, the purpose of our project was to give students ownership of the clinic that we provided, that we got this endowment through, give them the managerial experiences, and hopefully maybe provide a model for other curriculum-based SLC, curriculum-based service learning clinics for other institutions that would fit their needs. When we got started, we took our time. We, about over a 4-month period, and over lots of Jimmy John's and Starbucks, we created each board position, which is a handout that we gave to you. It describes each board position. We really took our time, and as Tricia mentioned, we used the models from Widener and Nazareth to really help develop those. We also created an application that is also in your handout, and you can tell it's pretty generic. We didn't want to deter anyone from volunteering, so we made it very generic. We gave it to our students over Christmas break after we explained the positions to them, and it was due the first week we came back from the spring semester. That week we got back, we sat down, and we selected the board, and the next day, or the next week, we had our first board meeting. This is how our board is laid out. We like to look at it and see each position has equal say in the decisions that are being made. And the student liaison is the one that is the communication bridge between the faculty, the students, and the board. And the board positions. I know you guys have that document in front of you. I'm just going to go through the importance of each position that we have. Us three are currently the student liaisons because we are the ones that created this board. In the next coming year, it's going to be a second-year student elected class officer position, because as a second year, you have experience in the SLC, and we want that. We feel that's important because they're an instrumental role in the effectiveness and the efficiency of that clinic. And if they have that understanding, they're going to be able to facilitate this opportunity for the underclassmen. We have an operations coordinator. Because we do have 3 crews, that allows for some air and consistency, and she helps smooth that transition. She makes sure that every crew that comes in every 4 weeks knows where everything is and is just eliminating any inconsistency that can occur. Our community outreach coordinator, we all know we need patients to be able to have a pro bono clinic. So she reaches out to our main campus to bring in patients, and she also is in contact with our pre-PT club. We allow pre-PT people to come in and observe so they can collect hours that they can use in their application process for PT schools, and it just also, if they want to apply to Bellarmine, it gets their face in there and they get to see the professors. Outcomes coordinator, she is helping us use outcomes in the clinic. We all want to use outcomes because we want to be reimbursed by insurance, and we want our clinic to be able to do the same thing just as any other private clinic would. And she's helping us with that, making sure the students know that importance. Our alumni PT scheduler, she was implemented to coordinate PTs that come and oversee us. Fund officer, we need someone to be in charge of the money. And our client scheduler. We are unique. We see neuro patients, MS, spinal cord injuries, Parkinson's, strokes. We see pediatrics, and we see your typical ortho patients. And we have a secretary that schedules the new patients, but she distributes those patients to the students. Not every patient is seen every Tuesday, Thursday. She makes sure that every patient has, or every student can treat a neuro patient or can treat an ortho patient, and they get that variety in treatment.
So Jessica just talked about the process that we have to go through to set up the board. And so now I'm going to just talk about the current things that we're going through and some of the challenges and benefits we've seen so far. So first, just the operations. We meet twice a month, every other week on Wednesdays, just during lunch, whenever we can find time. And we just want to make sure that everyone's on the same page. We also decided to create Google accounts for each position. And so we're able to, on Google, just kind of share a folder, and then we can create shared documents and send that to each other. So it has everything all in one spot for everyone to look at, and then future board members are going to take over that account, and they can see all the documents that we've already created. And we really want to make sure that we're focusing on sustainability. We want to just lay the groundwork for future board members, and we want to address the challenges that we've seen so far while also enhancing the benefits that we've seen. And we're doing that just for the clinic the SLC clinic that's on main campus, which will allow it to be sustainable and leave room for growth. Okay, so some of the benefits that we've seen so far is that we've seen increased board member and faculty enthusiasm. Everyone's really excited. The board member is, our board members are looking forward to learning how to run the clinic. And we've also seen a lot better communication between the board and the faculty. And since the board represents the students, in the long run, that's going to mean better communication between the faculty members as well as the students in regard to SLC operations. And then we've also noticed a lot more organization within the clinic, which is huge because you can't have sporadic people running around whenever you're treating patients. And then also we want to make sure that we're raising awareness because, as Jessica mentioned, the use of outcome measures in our clinic has been really inconsistent. So we just want to make sure that we're stressing the importance of using those outcome measures and using patient satisfaction surveys. Some of the challenges we've noticed has been primarily due to it being a curriculum-based service learning clinic. And Jessica mentioned how we kind of perceive that to be a challenge. Well, it certainly has been a challenge. So we really had to redefine a couple of the roles and determine the extent of each person's position. So what is the faculty's role versus what is the student's role in the clinic? So there are, on the handout that we gave you, there's 4 positions that have an asterisk next to it, and those are the 4 positions that we had to redefine. The first one is the student liaison, and really this is more so just an addition to the roles that you see listed on that handout. We decided that we wanted to update the policy and procedure manual because that has not been updated since 2007 for our clinic. And so by updating that manual, we're allowing for future students who come into the SLC to kind of know what we're doing. If anyone has questions, it's all in one place, and it just creates consistency and better communication. And then also we're responsible for creating student satisfaction surveys between all the student board members and making sure that everyone's okay with how the clinic's running, and making sure that they're pleased with the faculty involvement and everything like that. The second role that we have had to redefine is the clinic faculty coordinator, which actually used to be the alumni PT coordinator. And we completely redefined the position because since we are an endowed service learning clinic, we have absolutely no control of, because we're a curriculum-based service learning clinic, we, all the licensed therapists that we're working under are all faculty members. We don't really bring in alumni. So because of that, she's now acting as more so a liaison between the board and the faculty within that SLC. And then she's also helping the community outreach coordinator track the pre-PT volunteer hours. That way, whenever the pre-PT students apply to PT school, they can have access to that. Okay, the fund officer. This is due to the endowed service learning clinic. Because it is an endowed service learning clinic, we don't have access to the budget. And so we had to redefine this role, and in essence, now she's creating a wish list. So she is getting input from faculty and students and through surveys and so forth to kind of create this wish list of supplies that we may want or need, and she's estimating those costs. So it still gives her the experience of creating a financial budget. Okay, the last role that we had to redefine, or really in essence add to, was the client scheduler. So she's still doing all those things that you see there, but in addition, she's also contacting all the on-call students. So letting them know if they have a patient or if they do not have a patient, and if they do, letting them know about the patient. And then she's also just conducting the meeting minutes of the board. So every Wednesday that we meet, she writes the stuff down and puts it on the Google account for us. So once we got the ball rolling with redefining all the positions, we wanted to make sure we started enhancing the operations of the clinic. And one of the ways we decided to do that was through student orientation between each crew, just to make sure everyone knows who we are and make sure the clinic's running smoothly. So the operations coordinator is responsible for letting students know where the supplies are and what's in stock, and if something's out of stock, letting them know the process for which they need to go through to inform her that we're out of a certain supply. The outcomes coordinator is really stressing the importance of using outcome measures and showing them which ones are appropriate to use and so forth for their patients. Then the clinic faculty coordinator is addressing student audits and making sure that all of the forms are in the necessary places, or in the folder that's necessary for treatment.
So next we thought it'd be really neat to show you guys some of the reflections of current board members and faculty. So our outcomes coordinator right here just talks about some of the challenges of starting a student advisory board within a curricular-based service learning plan. And then our community outreach coordinator stated, I am thrilled to be a part of this board to proactively advance my own career as well as better the programs and profession through pro bono care and community awareness. And our fund officer says, I believe creating the SLC advisory board was a huge step in the right direction for Bellarmine. Giving students as many real-world opportunities as possible while in school is necessary in order to graduate successful, thriving clinicians. The SLC Student Advisory Board has been instrumental in taking our SLCs to the next level of high-quality, efficient, and effective patient-client management. The Student Advisory Board is a win-win situation for all stakeholders involved: patient, clients, students, faculty, and Bellarmine University, and that was one of our coordinating faculty. All right, so as Ashton said, because of all those positive responses and because of the benefits that we see with the board, we did want to create a sustainable, or make it sustainable. And this is kind of like a timeline, our little timeline of how we hope to accomplish that. And so in May, we're going to set out to the second years. We'll elect a new student liaison, and the applications will become available for the other 6 positions. And the first week of June, the new board will be selected by faculty, and there will be a transition orientation from current student board members to the, or from previous student board members to the current ones in June. And we're really hoping to transition this into our capstone to only further the sustainability of the board. And we're really hoping to send out surveys as well as form focus groups so that we can really gain more insight into the experiences of our faculty and current physical therapy students, as well as the board members. All right, so just kind of to wrap things up, the purpose of our project was to enhance communication between students and faculty regarding clinical operations, increase the effectiveness of our clinic, and provide managerial and business skills and experience to students, create a student advisory board model that's specific to Bellarmine's curricular-based SLC, and of course to establish a functional and sustainable student advisory board. Do you guys have any questions? About our model or the...
When did your company become this endowment plan? How much did you have?
Yeah. How much of an endowment are we talking about?
We're lucky. We had a guy who wanted, had a great experience. He's not even physical therapist. He had a great experience in PT, and he just wanted to give us the opportunity to provide physical therapy to other people who made such a difference for him. And just looked out. It was beautiful.
Do you know how much of that endowment spins out to you
Yes.
in operations?
That was my question.
We're not allowed to touch the principal that he has donated.
Yeah, right, that's the idea right now.
But we can only use, we don't know the price that he gave us. We don't know that amount.
Right.
We're not.
Do you know how much goes to you each year for your operations?
Yeah, even faculty doesn't know that.
What is your budget?
Yeah, what's your question?
What is your budget?
That's been one of our challenges, is because faculty doesn't have access to that endowment, and we don't know what the interest is going to be off of it each year. It's really what she's doing is she's creating a wish list, And once we do know what we can spend, then each year we kind of
So
know.
what could be happening, maybe, right? Is that whenever something is endowed, it's been 1 year, maybe?
It's been since October 6th.
Oh.
It usually takes about 3 years of it to lay dormant before you can spend any money off of that, the traditional endowment, because it has to build a bit. But somebody somewhere will know how much that is, and you know sort of what you have to work with. And creating sort of an operating budget. What do you think your operating budget is? And what would it take to run your program?
We kind of toyed with the idea a little bit of $2,000 for just like the SLC. That was originally kind of what one of our professors threw out. He was like, let's just kind of do a budget of $2,000. We'll see what we do. But then again, once that endowment came, that was